What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel, online at www.whatsupinthesky.com. And a little space news for you tonight. I'm only, what, 5, 6 days late. I said I'd come out after my last Pluto video, space news Pluto video I did, where I talked about the new announcement saying it probably wasn't going to be anything mind-blowing. And to me, this is not mind-blowing right here, but it's beautiful. I've always loved blue on black, the colors, and red on black too. It's another favorite of mine. And on the eve of my 35th birthday here, I decided let me get this video out to you because I've been really busy at work. Fall usually sets in, and I'll get a little bit more time to get into my research. And it's when it gets a little colder outside, I become a little bit more a hermit. But a lot of stuff to do now, a lot of stuff to do. Closing down pools, all sorts of mowing the lawn, getting ready for fall. So here we go, Pluto. Look at that blue sky. It's a beautiful picture from him. Now, Alan Stern, now the last video I was about 9 minutes long. I talked about the breaking news and what I thought it was going to be and stuff like that. We talked about, I think, water on Pluto. It was all from the Alan Stern Guardian article here, where Alan Stern was talking to some people. If you don't know, Alan Stern is the guy who runs the New Horizons mission. That's the mission that's taking the pictures of Pluto and its moons. And he was up talking to a university crowd, and he said something about, they're not going to let me tell you what we're going to tell you on Thursday, but it's amazing. So, and fast forward, the last Thursday, they came out with the who would have expected a blue sky in the Kuiper Belt? It's gorgeous, said Alan Stern, New Horizons principal investigator from the Southwest Research Institute. Um, so he was every a lot of stuff came out too. They also came out at the same exact time and said that there's water ice on Pluto that they found using there's a bunch of instruments on the New Horizons craft, and one's called the Rao Spectral Composition Mapper, and somehow this can tell that there are exposed water ice, and they say it's in the highlighted blue areas is where they're finding them. How it actually works, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't taken the time, nor do I care how that actual Ralph instrument works. But here we go. If you want to learn, the data is out there. It's interesting where they're finding it. Just the kind of like little blue maps here, there, and everywhere. But if you find this is just the only part that they've released, at least that it's done. We're going to be looking for some new stuff, new Pluto data coming up here soon. I'm really interested in what's going on in Sirius. We haven't heard much from Sirius after the bright spots. The last I heard, NASA was claiming it was going to be salt. Um, I guess Morton is in the Morton, however you say, the salt company is in business up on Pluto, or need to get not Pluto, Sirius, or they need to get into business up on Sirius. Not buying it just because of the way it looks as it goes around the termination point and everything, but looking for some Sirius data. Now, on with some more space news and Mars, where a lot of you guys come to see me talk about Mars, and we're going to be getting back to the videos here soon. I got a couple I need to get to, and it's funny they show is here on NASA.com the beautiful picture here with what looks like the civilization up at the top with the headline, NASA's Curiosity rover team confirms ancient lakes on Mars. Now this, if you watch the big reveal where they talked about the current water flows on Mars, and then we released something that showed no, there's actual water flows just like that happening where the Curiosity rover is, and they're not testing them. I put out an article. I talked about it on Richard C. Hoagland's show, Other Side of Midnight, and really, if you guys haven't heard that, if you want to watch, I came out. That's one video back. We put it out. Richard, I basically made it so you don't all the images come up on the screen. If you haven't heard it and you've got a couple hours, I think we come in at about the 20-minute point when it's talking about the anomalies and the water flows and stuff like that. So this was the big thing. They're saying a new study from the team behind NASA's that has confirmed Mars was once billions of years ago. They're saying billions of years, capable of storing water in lakes over an extended period of time. And they're using data from the Curiosity rover. The team has determined that long ago, water helped deposit sediment into the Gale crater, where the rover landed more than 3 years ago. So they're taking measurements they found. A lot of this, if you watch, this is space news, but if you watch my channel, we talk a little bit more about what really is going on Mars. Here's the announcement talking about the water flows. I think the water has not dried up on Mars as they say. There's still some spots that have it. This is one of the best pictures, I'd say. This was one where um, Even my dad, before he passed away, finally said, a lot of times he wouldn't see. I see what I see, you see what you see. He wouldn't see what I saw, but he said, "Gosh darn, that's a road going up there." And it looked like a road. Like this used to be an ancient lake bed. Now this is the NASA color corrected image from the I think it's PIA 19839. Look at it, how it just rolls up. It looks like a road. It rolls up off to the side and comes up. Now the rover's at back over here somewhere now and actually taking pictures of this. A lot of this isn't matching up the same. The Curiosity rover, I haven't gotten images back. They took a 3-day break with the images. Not sure what's going on there. All sorts of stuff had going on in NASA. They took Cirrus off their menu. So, like, if you go to the website, you can't even find it on the missions list, which was crazy. I mean, they came out with the bright lights, and this is just amazing how some of this information just seems to be getting buried. But check that out right there. It goes up, come up, looks like a wall. And like I said, looks like the road splits off this way, that way. Um, and it looks like a road. There's no, to me, it looked like a road. And that was one thing my dad finally said. He actually saw this on TV. They were showing it in the background. He saw it. So I was like, yeah, see what I've been talking about. But either way, miss you, Dad. He finally saw eye to eye when it came to some of this stuff. But here I am ripping it in. This was what, Monday, September 28th, talking about the NASA and JPL have ignored every single email, comment, tweet, and snail mail I've sent them about the abundance of Curiosity rover images that show water or other form of liquid running down waters on rocks and Mars resting on the hills. Not one reply. Still no reply. Still nobody's calling back. Here we go. Look at these things. So those big flows, I want you guys, I'm going to go ahead and put this link in your, like I said, all these links will be in the news. And go ahead and share this with people if you can. There's a share button at the bottom. It shows some of the flows. Like I said, this was some of the stuff we went over on the Richard C. Hoagland show. Had a lot of fun doing that. It was the first time I'd done radio. Like I've been on there 3 times now. The first time where I actually got to, kind of run the show when it came to showing what pictures I wanted to show, and I had a good time. Richard heard me out, saw a lot of what I saw, and I think that's all that mattered. So looking forward to doing another one. Talked to guy Alan, one of our buddies that I've made from the show. We were supposed to do a moon show coming up in maybe November sometime, so we'll see if that still goes down. And one last space news article for you, because this one I thought was kind of weird. Just out of nowhere, Earth's gravitational pull cracks open the moon. And I wonder where they get their data for this, because this is what's kind of like, sometimes I think they're just as theoretical, just as, what's the word? Uh, they're basically the same. They do say that they look at something and 10 seconds later they have an explanation for it, and that seems to be the case, especially when it comes to some of these Curiosity rover images, so um, they're just as speculative. We could say it just like that. So Earth's gravitational pull is massaging the moon. Open up the faults and lunar crust, researchers say. Just as the moon's gravitational pull causes seas and lakes to rise and fall as tides on Earth, Earth exerts tidal forces on the moon. Scientists have known this for a while, but now they found that Earth's pull actually opens up faults on the moon. We know there's a close relationship because the Earth and the moon goes back into their origins. But what a surprise um, to find that Earth is still helping to shape the moon. Study lead author Thomas Waters. He's basically from the Smithsonian. The researchers analyzed data from the LRO, which is launched in 2009. In 2010, the spacecraft helped scientists discover that the moon is shrinking. Um, Let's see what we got here. After more than 6 years in orbit, imaging nearly 3/4 of the moon's surface, LRO has detected more than 3,200 of these fault scarps. These cliffs are most commonly tectonic features on the moon and are typically dozens of yards or meters high and less than about 6 miles long. Previously researched that suggested that they were 50 million years old and are likely still actively forming today. If the only influence on the lunar fault scarp formation was the cooling of the moon's interior, the orientations of these cliffs should be random, but the forces of contraction, sorry about that, would be equal in strength in all directions. It was a big surprise to find that the fault scarps don't have random orientations. Instead, there is a pattern in the orientations of thousands of faults, and it suggests something else is influencing their formation, something that is also acting on a global scale. Walter said in the statement, that something is the Earth's gravitational pull. Earth's tidal forces do not act equally across the surface of the entire moon. Instead, they act most strongly on the parts of the moon that are either closest or farthest away from Earth. The results in the many of the scarps are lined up on the north or south to the low, mid, and latitudes near the moon's equator, and east to the west to the high latitudes near the moon's poles. The effect of the Earth's tidal forces are likely about 50 to 100 times smaller than those from the moon's contraction. All right, so with LRO, we've been able to study the moon's globally in detail, not yet possible with any other body in the solar system beyond Earth. And the data set enables us to tease out the subtle, important processes that would otherwise remain hidden. These lunar faults are still active. Shallow moonquakes might occur along them. These rumbles should happen most often when Earth's tidal effects are greatest on the moon, when the moon is furthest away from the Earth in its orbit. The network of seismometers on the moon's surface could one day detect these quakes. So, still sounds like a lot of speculation in this too, but interesting just to think about it, that the moon is still changing. It's just not something that's up there. Um, a lot of good stuff coming out lately. Like one article after another. It seems like we're moving towards something. I don't know what we're moving towards. Hopefully, it'll be some sort of truth. I would love to be able to hand it to you in a bag. Listen, I see what I see, you see what you see, and if you haven't watched any of my videos, if this is the first video you've ever seen, and you made it this far in, congratulations. Come check out the website, check out the videos. They go back 600 videos now on moon, Mars, planet. They're all anomalies, things I've covered, space news, all sorts of good stuff. Um, but the anomalies, especially the Mars anomalies, that's really where some of the bread and butter are. Things that just are just amazing. You can't just say, oh, that's just your eyes. You're just matrixing them, or pareidolia, or however you say that word. Um, but anyway, guys, like I said, I'm gonna enjoy my birthday tomorrow. Get some new. I got like 5 or 6 images already up in Photoshop ready to get rocking. I'm going to release those here soon. I'm going to get it going again. Don't worry. I have not abandoned you, I promise. So much love to you. Hope you're having a good one with you and yours. Um, Happy October. It's starting to get chilly here on the east coast of, well, I'm in Maryland, so I'm over by Ocean City, Maryland. The leaves are starting to change. It's a little bit warmer than usual, but I think that chill is still coming in at night. So, all right, guys. Hope you're having a good one. Take care. Comment below. Got anything to say? Much love. Peace.